Every one of us is just one, but any one of us wouldn't get very far without lots of us. Together, we invent things. We go wild, make music, get messy. Together, we honor traditions. Old ones, new ones, goofy ones. Together, we learn about skin and silliness, bubbles and belly buttons, and most of all, about each other. Because the best of us comes from all of us. You inspired Johnsons to know all there is to know about baby skin, to be the leader and gentle. So together we can cleanse, soothe, and nourish more tenderly. You've been showing us not just how to raise a baby, but how to raise standards, raise hope, raise love. And we want to grow up to be just like you. Johnsons. Together, we raise.
Each year, Fortune magazine publishes the most admired list of top companies in the U.S. Each company is rated on 9 dimensions: innovativeness, quality of management, long-term investment value, social responsibility to the community and the environment, people management, quality of products and services, financial soundness, wise use of corporate assets, and effectiveness in doing business. The company that I chose on the most admired list was Johnson & Johnson, and they are in the news currently because they are involved in a lawsuit for several of its products. The first one is talcum baby powder and shower to shower. Where they are underperforming is in the area of quality products and services. There are allegations of products causing ovarian cancer with prolonged use, and attempts to link asbestos and mesothelioma to those allegations. What are the ramifications for underperformance? As I earlier stated, they are in 2 lawsuits for their talcum powder, baby powder. They're ordered to pay $8.9 billion. Their cases against the company has increased from 37,542 to 47,346 in the month of September this year. The company attempted to file Chapter 11 twice since the start of the lawsuit, and they made an announcement in 2021 to remove greater than 100 products from their shelves nationwide. They have since separated Johnson & Johnson into 2 publicly traded companies: Pharma, which has the medical devices and the pharmaceutical portion, and then the consumer side, which houses the Band-Aids and Tylenol and all of the over-the-counter medicines that are sold up under their label. And they saw a decline in stocks when they made the announcement to separate. Continuation of the ramifications. The second lawsuit was against their participation in the opioid crisis. They are ordered to pay more than $5 billion for its participation in that opioid crisis. They have since separated talc products and the opioid crisis lawsuit into a separate business entity. And they agreed to bring in a new management team to drive growth, drive revenue, and initiate a new focus for the company. So, what is the organizational structure, design, and culture of Johnson & Johnson? Johnson & Johnson is made up of 3 business segments: pharmaceuticals, medical devices, and the consumer portion. In September 2023, they updated their visual identity. They stated their brand and visual identity demonstrate the best of Johnson & Johnson's care and humanity, while capturing the company's passion and determination to improve the health of people worldwide. What is the culture that surrounds the Johnson & Johnson label? They're known for their innovativeness, their inclusivity, their diverseness. They make their job meaningful for the employees and fulfilling. And there are various opportunities for development and advancement within the organization. So, how does Johnson and Johnson display organizational effectiveness? They have made the most admired list for greater than 10 years. They have been in business for greater than 133 years. They were 36th on Fortune 500 in 2021. They are the largest pharmaceutical company in the United States. This company was founded in 1886 by Robert W. Johnson and his brothers James and Edward. They created the company to address an unmet medical need for safer, sterile surgical products that could save the lives of more patients and make it easier for doctors to do so. They set the tone for people first values that the company would espouse in the decades to come. So is Johnson & Johnson a conscious culture? In 1943, Mr. Robert W. Johnson crafted a credo defining his responsibility to patients first. He said, "We believe our first responsibility is to our patients, doctors, nurses, mothers, fathers, and all others who use our products and services. In meeting their needs, everything we do must be of high quality. We must constantly strive to provide value, reduce cost, and maintain reasonable prices. Customers' orders must be serviced promptly and accurately. Our business partners must have an opportunity to make a fair profit. Our responsibility is to our employees. We are responsible to our employees who work with us throughout the world. We must provide an inclusive work environment where each person must be considered as an individual. We must respect their diversity and dignity and recognize their merit. They must have a sense of security, fulfillment, and purpose in their jobs. Compensation must be fair and adequate, and working conditions clean, orderly, and safe. We must support the health and well-being of our employees and help them fulfill their family and other personal responsibilities. Employees need feel free to make suggestions and complaints. There must be equal opportunity for employment, development, and advancement for those qualified. We must provide highly capable leaders, and their actions must be just and ethical. Our responsibility is to our communities. We are responsible to the communities in which we live and work, and to the world community, and to the world and community as well. We must help people be healthier in supporting better access to care in more places around the world. We must be good citizens, support good works and charities, better health and education, and bear our fair share of taxes. We must maintain in good order the property we are privileged to use, protecting the environment and the natural resources. And finally, our responsibility is to our stockholders. Business must make a sound profit. We must experiment with new ideas. Research must be carried out and innovative programs developed, investments made for the future, and mistakes paid for. New equipment must be purchased, new facilities provided for, and new products launched. Reserves must be created to provide for adverse times. When we operate according to these principles, the stockholders should realize a fair return. They also have ongoing projects since business inception. Military payments. For those military families that are uh, out on military leave, they get military payments up for 24 months. They have global community impact that impacts those that are in need for hunger and various things throughout the world. Health for Humanity, they still provide health services around the world. Wisdom by Kids provides different various needs for children everywhere. And they also offer an 8-week parental leave for those families that are in the maternity areas of their life. Okay, what is Kotter's 8 steps for leading change with the Johnson & Johnson brand? Kotter describes his 8 steps for leading change. The first one is creating a sense of urgency, inspiring people to act, being able to inspire, motivate, and encourage people to act on behalf of any organization or company. I believe that Johnson & Johnson has initiated the beginning stages of change that needs to take place. The second one is building a guiding coalition. Build a team to help accomplish the vision. Number 3, form a strategic vision. Clarify how the future will be different from the past. 4, enlist the volunteer army. People must want to actively contribute to your vision and your goals. 5, enable action by removing barriers. Remove obstacles that slow down progress. 6, generate short-term wins. Your wins must be recognized, collected, and communicated. 7, sustain acceleration. Be relentless with initiating change until your vision becomes a reality. 8, institute the change that you originally started with. Articulate the connection between new behaviors and organizational success. We want to inspire people to act with passion and purpose. We want to build a momentum that excites people to pursue a clear vision of the future together. We want to get buy-in on how to make that future a reality through different initiatives. Large-scale change can only occur when massive numbers rally for a common goal. Individually, people must want to contribute, but collectively, they must be unified in pursuit of achieving the goal together. We want to clear the way for people to innovate, to work liberally and with liberty, and generate an impact quickly. We want energized participants to persist in reaching the goal. We want to press harder after our first wins. We want our increased credibility to improve systems, structures, and policies. And the way that you can generate and guarantee success in a difficult change is to not skip any of the steps to learning. With any change, leadership and employees and organizations and systems have to be prepared for the challenges that come with change. What do I think that Johnson & Johnson will face with creating the change and with the new direction and new focus? They'll have to deal with the recall of negative media. They'll have to have their strong culture and strong response to be able to respond positively to negative media. For those stockholders and those customers and those persons that are uncertain of the future, even with the employees and all of those persons that are involved in the organization, that's why the revision, the rebranding, the revision of their vision statement was so important, to remind them of the mission and the goal and the vision and the future of the company. They'll have to deal with accountability and responsibility for past mistakes. Mr. Johnson penned that back in 1943. I'm sure he had no idea that he would have to answer this question about the talc, but he was prepared, and that is wonderful. And I would suggest, in order to have a roadmap for that change, he could use Lewin's process and transition change model, which is unfreezing, which is knowing the need for change, which, as I stated earlier, they have already begun to initiate those steps. Initiating that change and following through on that change with the change agent and the person that's going to be controlling the outcome of the changes. And with refreezing, making the changes permanent, new rules, new policies, new way of doing things, longer testing and trials with the new innovative products that they do. Whatever the changes are, they have already put a transition management team in place to oversee and direct the focus of the upcoming changes, how they split the company up and have it to stand on its own merit so that they'll know which portion of the company would require more assistance and which ones can stand on its own. All of those things have already been put in place. And I believe that this process will be beneficial for them to have this roadmap so that they can follow through and complete the changes up until they're back in the positive view for those that have been following the negativity. To weigh in on their key customers, those things that are important to the key customers that they have, and to turn negatives into positives, to involve different generations, to get the millennials involved in research and in innovation and in the media of the company, to let this new generation know that they are important and their products are important to the ongoing mothers and fathers and those that are still birthing families. And to make sure that their values align with the values of the company. I would suggest organizational development, which is 3 basic types: systems-wide, task and technology, and group and individual. And if they do all those things and involve those different generations in this new focus, in this new direction, in this new makeup, they have the opportunity to regain those doubtful customers, those doubtful stockholders and persons that they have been with their company over the years, and they're able to gain this new generation of customers that will buy their products and invest in the name Johnson & Johnson. So what are the lessons learned? Learning about structuring a business for the future. The first thing is to think long term. Yes, there are short successes, but if you want to have a foundation that's built to carry the weight of a successful business, you have to look at the long term. You have to look at what could happen down the road and be prepared to meet that situation. You have to invest in your dreams. Innovation costs. And so you have to store up monies, make preparations to be able to meet those costs. And again, you have to think in the long term. You have to be prepared for adverse events. You have to build your company on a solid foundation, on trust and transparency, so that you can be able to reach those customers and stockholders and all of those persons that are connected to the vision, the mission, and the goal of your company in times when you need them most. And lastly, but not leastly, you must create a culture that transcends into future generations. You want to work every day to meet the needs of future generations. You want to be prepared, your company to be prepared to be able to move into the future. You want forward thinkers. You want people that are not afraid of experimenting. You want people that are not afraid to take the leap. You want people that are not afraid to try things that may end up being a blessing to future generations and those to come. Those are the things that I've learned from Johnson & Johnson. I think that they're doing a great job. I think that they will attract a new type of, a different type of investor as things unfold. I think that they're leaning into a new direction and a new focus, so that all things will be new while they are yet standing on the foundation from the originator, Mr. Robert W. Johnson.